Alright, what's up guys? FPS Legend back here. So, we're going to go ahead and grab another load and do a quick trip as I talk to you guys about a couple things. Well, let's get this truck started up here. Well, my right turn signal's still on from the last load. Let's see if I can pull this thing out of here. Well, I don't have any frame rate issues. I was having that issue when I started up earlier too. Anyway, well, let me start off with, as you guys can see here, I went ahead and, God, come on frames, cooperate, gotta wait for it to load in a little bit, it's not liking me. As you can see here, I adjusted my seating position, that way all my mirrors come out the way they need to be, and that way I didn't have an issue with trying to see out my mirrors and be legit about the whole thing. Because last time I played, I had it where both mirrors were up, you know, not legitimately. They didn't look like the real mirrors. They were that side mirror crap that they do on here. I just did that so that way... Ooh, you can get a little closer. So that way I could see my right mirror until I adjusted all my stuff. I now have adjusted also the steering sensitivity. And I'll go ahead and pick up this real quick and I'll continue. I went ahead and picked a neat little load. It's a pretty quick drop. It's only a 6-hour drive. Some car parts for Tesla. That's about it. Let me switch that. Oh, whoops, wrong button. Let's do that. There we go. I went ahead and decided to... Oh. F9 does that. I don't want that. I went ahead and... Oh, I don't remember where I was at with that. Oh yeah. Adjusted the steering sensitivity and got it up to... where... Oops. I feel a bit more comfortable with it because before when I was steering, I was having an issue with turning a little too slow. The wrong trailer. It is, isn't it? Of course it is. Oh Lord. Oh, I'm way out of it today. Anyway, yeah, make sure you guys pay attention if you guys are playing this. Back up to the right trailers. Anyway, I also went ahead and adjusted, you see, it was steering, the seating positions, and then I had some automatic stuff on, like, what is it, automatic trailer brake, engine brake, all that good stuff, you know, Jake brake, and, I actually had an issue with one of the automatic brake setups. It kept making this random beeping. I kept thinking I broke my truck or something, and it ended up being that setting I had to turn off. And I completely just ran that trailer all up on that wall. Oh well, I'm not really in a carrying mood at this second. I'm blocking the road too. Anyway, and I ended up having to go in, have it friggin' fixed twice and recovered and redoing a couple different shipments and all this other crap, and it was all because I accidentally messed with a setting that I really shouldn't have. And they really capture these drivers a little too well in this game. I also, actually this is my second try at recording this video, because the first recording I did, I was having issues with my software once again, and ended up having to go through and delete the whole video because I had no audio. My button for audio I chose to use was not cooperating. And I've been speeding this whole time because I wasn't paying attention to the speed limit. Anyway, so I had to change some buttons around, finally got that set up, and doing a little bit of a shorter trip. Last time I did about a 9-hour trip, and 36-minute video. I think this one's going to be a pretty quick video. Plans for the future, I hope to get some from me and do an online thing. Like I've always said in my other videos, you guys ever want to see anything, you guys ever, want me to play off, because I do have the LCPDFR mod, anything like that, even a scenario maybe on this game, or if you guys want me to get a multiplayer mod for this, all you guys can do is let me know, and I'll definitely try and go for it. And then, let me think. Last time you guys saw me, I was actually did not have half the upgrades I do now. I went ahead and I looked at the different motors, and the motors that they're giving me the options from are basically the same exact motor that I already have. They're just different brand. So it's something that really doesn't make a difference on what I'm doing in particularly. Now, as for transmissions, I finally unlocked a better transmission at level 6. And because I've done about 3 or 4 jobs before I recorded between my first and second video. This is my second one I'm recording now, and the first one, between those two, I did probably about 3 or 4 different drops, and I noticed some neat things about the environment. The paved roads here is one thing, because you go from something that looks, you get the old road you're driving on the right side, you got a brand new paved road. You go farther up, you can get a brand new paved road all the way around. Well, and then, another thing is, they really do get the realism effect of cars, because, for instance, you get this Land Rover right here, or Range Rover, whatever it is, decides to come flying past you, because your speed limit is 55. What I don't understand, which I don't know if this may be a truck thing, and it's just because I'm not used to big rigs, or whatever it is, but for some god-awful reason, speed limit says 70 or 75, or minimum 55 and maximum 70, or for instance here 65 right here, and it still tells me to do 55. And I'm wondering if that's maybe a speed limit because of how many axles or how much weight, something I just don't know. I mean, I'm a mechanic, in the real world, and I know a lot about gas motors and stuff along those lines. I can tell you anything about an old Chevy 350, or even a carbureted power body injection, anything. I've got an 83 C10 at home and a 92 Sonoma that none of them have been in shops. But at the same time, I can't touch one of these big rigs. I know nothing about them, and I mean nothing. I can't tell you an asshole from a mouth on one of these. But, let me get my camera adjusted here a little bit. I definitely have noticed that this game's got some really neat texture aspects and some new ways that most people would have never seen. And what I mean by that is, like, for instance, what do they call those, tumbleweeds. They blow through Arizona on the game all the time. But one thing that really kind of disappoints me is they go right through your whole truck and all the cars. They don't actually like bounce off your truck, nothing like that. And that kind of makes me wonder what the collision effects in this game are. So I have not yet to actually get in a collision with another vehicle. And the world, it started beeping at me again, and I have no idea what that one was about. Anyway, because the thing is, the collision effects in this game, I'm wondering if it's kind of acting like 18 Wheels of Steel. Because I remember 18 Wheels of Steel, American Long Haul, I played that quite a bit, and it was always, collisions were basically no visual damage whatsoever. You slammed into them, you took a bunch of mechanical damage, and then all of a sudden, you had to try and find a way to get rescued while the other car's sitting there honking at you to get out of the way. And then you typically ended up abandoning the load and all this other crap. Another thing I've actually added onto the game, a couple mods, a lot of visual mods, mainly like changing Wahlberg, whatever it was, to Walmart, and like Pizza Hut, FedEx. Actually, I think this one's going from Tesla to another place. I can't remember where it's going necessarily, but it's kind of a neat mod because it doesn't just do visual effects. I think I mentioned this in my last video about how I did that mod, but it also does the vehicles themselves. I mean, like the cop cars and like the everyday cars too. Cop cars now I see a lot of the Ford Focuses that you'd see in this similar area. I see a lot of the Vics, which are typical for the game, but I also see a lot of times, for instance, you see the SUVs, you know, Land Rovers come by. Why the hell are we doing 30, 25, 40? Anyway, and we end up seeing an actual Land Rover now instead of, you know, where they block out what they want you to see. And I wonder what's going on there. There's a roadblock for some reason. Anyway, where was I at with that? Anyway, I'm going to keep distracting myself here. It's definitely kind of a neat thing that the modder did with that one in particular. I also have put on, yeah, look at that, it's a full train. I mentioned that in my last video where I saw only the engine. I see a full train in that, so I really hope they do that with you driving across railroad tracks and that, being able to incorporate that. One thing I really disappointed with the game is the horn. It is so cheap and fake. I mean, every 18-wheeler I know does not have a cheap-ass horn like that. It's more beefy and got a lot more hump to it. It's the best way I really see it. I know when you do the outside view of the truck, it sounds quite a bit louder, but it still doesn't change the fact that it's such a wimpy view. Thankfully, I've already made over 100 grand, and this 13-speed transmission that I finally upgraded to with the retarder is doing great. At level 6, I was finally able to do that. I don't know, I know I said something about leveling up earlier, but I completely lost train of thought on it. Don't hit that car there. And I just got, okay, loan installment. That's what that was. Let's see, I thought I lost some money for something, but loan installment. Anyway, if you guys, like I said, ever have any requests, ever want me to do anything, any scenarios, all you guys gotta do is just let me know. I'll tell you guys a nifty little story though about when I was on the road. I actually had an encounter with a couple girls on a Mitsubishi Eclipse. It was a 2003 Eclipse, something like that. It was the GT. I was behind it, and I noticed they had no taillights. You know, they were heading in the same direction I was. That's the reason why I ended up behind them. We were heading out towards the edge of town, and I decided to try and get them to pull over, let them know, because it's a big safety hazard. You know, you got no taillights, how people going to know when you're going to stop? You get rear-ended, and there was a couple times I almost rear-ended her trying to follow her. I wasn't even following that close, I just couldn't tell when she was going to stop. And she kept trying to take these back roads to maneuver away, and this poor girl had to think I was trying to kill her or something. I was, you know, not like aggressively driving, I was just casually driving, just following her, and I was honking, you know, trying to wave to get her attention, and she saw me, and I swear she thought I was going to kill her or something. And we pulled over, or didn't even pull over, we pulled off the side road, kept going around these side roads, looped back into town the same way we came out, and I ended up going up to the other end of town, going over the bridge. I finally went from a 2-lane highway to a 4-lane. Went over the bridge, and I got her to roll down her window and talk to her side by side, and I mean, my other truck's loud, so I'm screaming. And I'm like, hey, you got no taillights. And what this lady does, she shrugs her shoulders and just doesn't care and moves on. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. I'm like, this lady has no care for the life in her hands, because she's got 2 people in the back of her car, somebody in the passenger seat and the driver. Not a care in the world. I'm like, whatever, lady. I ended up pulling off and just driving away. My only thought with this is, you know, people nowadays, they gotta realize you got to be able to maintain your vehicle. Watch the biggest thing's your safety. You know, it causes accidents. People get killed because of crap like that, especially teenagers like her. Now I'm a teenager myself. I'm only 19. I'll tell you right now, I make sure that the biggest safety issues in my vehicle are there. You know, they're fixed. I'm not going to have an accident caused because of my neglect. And that's just the truth of it. And honestly, in my opinion, that's where I think everybody should be. But, you know, you never know how it's all going to end up. And these cars just keep flying past me. Now, see that car that I left, that Jeep, he's just like going nice and slow and then punches it past me. Now, I love this. I keep seeing these signs. This is Walmart. No sales tax. Now save even more. August 17th to 19th. I love it. I get a complete kick out of that because it's something in the future. I could totally see Walmart trying to pull something off like that. As much bull crap they do now, it really would just be hilarious. Anyway, I actually just unlocked a couple upgrades I'm kind of happy for this truck. I need to go through after I make some more money and after I pay off my loan. I think I owe about 90 grand left on it out of 150. And I'm going to go ahead and get a bull bar for the front of this. And if there's any available that's better on what I'm at, I'll do probably a better motor, transmission combo, something like that. Now one thing you guys might see me do is, I may not voice over the whole entire drive just because of how long these drives are. I might at times just go ahead and just skip through it. Because sometimes these drives can be, just boring drives, nothing entertaining. Now look, see, I passed the Walmart sign, and in the top right corner, now I see a Pizza Hut sign. Now I wish they would have done something creative with the logoing on that. Another thing about that mod earlier I was talking about, they also do FedEx trucks and UPS. So you see random FedEx and UPS trucks pop up all around. Anyway, alright, well, I'm going to try and get this cruise control set right. There we go. I'm just glad earlier I realized what was causing my brake issue because I kept randomly having the trailer air supply and the parking brakes stick on. No matter what I hit, they wouldn't cut off. And it was always whenever I went to go drop a trailer. I'm like, what's the deal with this? And that's when I ended up, I had issues with, almost got hiccups going on here. That's when I noticed that I had issues with the parking brake assist or whatever it was I had on that I had to take off that was really causing me issues. I wonder if I've even been to where I'm going. I just realized, and this is something that's really cool about this game, if you look at the map, like the highway, it's different colors. There's gold and there's gray. The gray are all highways you never truck on, and the gold you have. And the same with the letters to the city. If they're golden, you've been there. If they are gray, you've never actually been there. And it's a really neat factor to the game because it helps keep track of where you have and haven't been and where you want to be. Because if you want to go through and completely, explore the whole game, I think that's something that you can go with. And now, it's a nice kind of transition to the highways too. If you look at how everything goes through and it goes from straight desert to and transitions to a 3 or 4 lane highway into the palm trees and all that, you really feel like you're driving into Los Angeles or something. There's one of those nifty little Ford Focuses almost racing that GMC. They gotta be flying. I'm doing 55. I mean, the speed limit's probably in the 70s, so I mean, they don't surprise me one bit. But it's like earlier in the game, I was playing, I went to go merge over, and this car just was being a complete asshole. It would not let me over. I had to slam on the brakes, and they really capture some of this stuff way too well. Actually, we are in Los Angeles, so I just realized that. And that explains why everything looks the way it does. Like right there, these brakes are a little overdone. I think that they're a little too touchy, and honestly, there's nothing I can really do to change that. There's one thing that really drives me nuts. What's the deal right there? The graphics are being freaky. Kind of sticking out through the concrete, doing weird shit like that. I don't understand some of the graphical things that go wrong with games. It's like you can play and spin tires 1 minute perfectly, and all of a sudden the next minute, it's bam, you're flying through the side of the map, and you're like, what in the Sam hell's going on? Or, you know, you feel like you're about to get stuck or something, and as soon as you hit diff lock, it just flings you up in the middle of the air, and you're upside down, and it's completely destroyed, and you're like, what is this? I've had way too many encounters where, like, you know, in GTA, playing GTA 5 on the PS4, and everything's just glitching out on you. You know, it's a high quality game, high demanding game, they still have these bugs. You know they have bugs in games like that, you know they're gonna have bugs in games like this. Anyway, man, oh Jesus, 55 on a curve like that, way overkill. Speed limit's gotta be way off here. See, and I noticed they have these Mac dealers, but I'm almost wondering if Peterbilt and Kenworth are really the only two trucks that they have in here. It's all I've ever seen, and I'm not really a fan of that. I know you can use mods to get other trucks and other designs that replace some of the trucks in the game, but I really don't want that. I wish they gave us more of a diverse variety of the trucks that are actually in America. You know, Euro Truck did pretty good, but it's just like their modifications and upgrades and, you know, the customization. It's cool and all, but they don't give you enough to really mess with. Even if you're fully leveled, which I think at times it takes too much to level up to where you want to be in this game. But at the same time, I mean, that's how they keep you working with it. That's how they keep you playing it. But it really, I don't know, it is what it is. That's really where I'm at with that. Look at that little ice cream truck there. Hell, earlier, alright, let's see real quick where they want us to put this. I'll park it myself. Confirm. Okay, they want it on the back right, so I gotta pull it up through here. Okay. Anyway, I was playing earlier and it was hilarious. I'm driving and I haven't seen too many of the AI people in this. Oh shit, I'm gonna clip that trailer. I haven't seen too many of the actual people that are AI in this game yet. I'm totally gonna clip that thing anyway. Fuck it, just drag it. And my happy ass was lucky enough to see a guy in a hot dog suit just dancing around on the street corner. It was in this game. I'm like, what in the world does this guy in the hot dog suit have to do with anything? And it's, I just started laughing. I'm like, this is where this game is getting too much like GTA in some ways. You know, the AI are extremely similar to the way GTA is. The difference is you can't listen to them yell at you like you can in GTA, thankfully enough. Let's see, trying to straighten this out. This is a little bit more difficult than it looks, especially since I up the sensitivity in the controller. Come on. Am I doing this right? Gotta be off. Just by a pin here. Oh no, wrong way. It's gotta be this way, come on. Why are you not registering? I'm centered out, I should be. Oh, there it is. Okay. I was like, what in the world? Like, I should be almost perfectly centered. Anyway, looks like we made, let's see here, about 10 grand. Good chunk for level 7. And like always, if you guys enjoyed this video, like it up, please subscribe, and see you guys on the next one.